Hi everyone, A Loving Soul here. Today we're going to be playing some of my favorite decks. Today we're going to be playing Pirate Warrior in Wild. I have a really soft spot for Pirate Warrior. I really love cheaper aggro-based decks that put pressure on the opponent, that make them, that force them to have answers. So we have a pretty standard Wild Pirate Warrior deck here. What's interesting is instead of Death Spite nowadays, some people are teching in bomb cards to deal with Reno. So if you can shuffle in multiple bombs, it turns off the Reno. So a card you could look into is Wrench Caliber, and I'm personally happy in my collection, but this is an option that's popping up in a lot of lists right now. But other than that, a bunch of cheap early pirates, put on aggression, got your weapons. We only have one upgrade here because Ancharrr was added to the deck. One card that is a little awkward for me sometimes is Shieldbreaker. I know why it's in the deck. Sometimes taunts can pop up, and having that utility to silence a taunt is really useful. But overall, let's have some fun. I haven't played Hearthstone in a while, so we're going to be lower on the ladder and just enjoy ourselves. Alrighty, let's get into it. Rank 15, so no real pressure. We're just going to give this Pirate Warrior deck a whirl. Mostly looking for 1-drops and Ancharrr. Those are probably the biggest swing cards in the deck early game. We're against a Hunter here. Got Sky Raider, so I'm already pretty happy. I wonder what Hunter decks are in Wild right now. I know in Standard right now there's a pretty popular face variant, but in Wild, it could really be anything. So we got a second Sky Raider in the mulligan. 2 1-drops, always pretty happy. I like that Sky Raider gives Pirate Warrior another form of refueling. That, along with Ancharrr, gives us like more fuel to push against control decks. And the 1-drop slot used to pretty much only be in Nizal's first mate and Saucy Deckhand. Opponent is taking a little while to mulligan. I wonder if he's AFK. That is Oz's first mate turn 1, but I'm just going to develop Sky Raider. It opens up our options. Let's have Cultist. This is a very nice draw. Will help upgrade our Rusty Hook that we get from Nizal's first mate. Wonder if our opponent's actually still there though. It took pretty much almost the full time from the mulligan. Oh, he's here, so it's Quest Hunter. So he's going to be trying to summon a lot of minions. Things I want to look out for are probably Unleash the Hounds. Okay, I want to get the hookup for turn 3, so we can upgrade it with Bloodseal Cultist. I know Hounds might come out. He does have coin. So I have an option here whether or not to play the Saucy Deckhand or the Sky Raider. I think I'm going to play the Saucy Deckhand. Just put as much aggression as we can. I will punch with the Rusty Hook, mostly because we're going to have 3 more charges after we upgrade it, and it's going to take a long time. If I get a Death Spite or an Ancharrr, I want to probably switch it out, so I don't want to be reliant too much on this Rusty Hook. Our opponent follows up with a Headhunter's Hatchet. I'm fine with that. We have the option, so we got Sir Finley Murgleton off the top, but I'm just going to keep playing on curve here. Some of this 3-4 in stats is a lot of stats. And I'm going to keep putting pressure on the Hunter. His quest takes 20 minions in order to get his new hero power, which is basically a Savage War for a hero power, which is very strong, but it takes him a lot of time. So we want to not give him that time. We really want to shorten his clock. Wow, so both of his charges of his Headhunter's Hatchet taking out our 2 1-drops, and he takes a really slow turn here by equipping an Eagle Horn Bow. Not looking good for the Hunter. First things first is we're going to play Sir Finley Murgleton to see what hero powers we get. Steady Shot's pretty good. So But I want to cash in the ship's cannon damage, so we're going to cash it in. You could argue it's better to use steady shot here because every turn we're not pressing the button. It's kind of bad, but opponent's so low, it really doesn't matter. We have Leroy in our hand, so if we get him to 2, steady shot, he's done for. So a very good first game back to Hearthstone. The reason why I have such a soft spot for Pirate Warrior is I used this deck to get Legend when Pirate Warrior first came out in Mean Streets of Gadgetzan. That's when Buccaneer used to be like not the rogue version of Buccaneer, but it used to be a 1 mana 3/2 when you had a weapon equipped. So good first game. Alrighty, so our second game's against a Mage. First thing that comes to my head is there's 2 pretty popular variants of Mage right now, which are Secret Mage and Reno Mage. Frothing tends to be pretty good. I'm gonna mulligan the Cultist because I mean, I could coin 2 3-drops. I don't have a weapon to upgrade with this Cultist quite yet. I'll keep the 1-drop even though it's a deckhand. It's not the best 1-drop now that we have Sky Raider in the deck. But so we get back the Cultist and a Druid Corsair. Overall, this hand is pretty playable. Our opponent mulliganed 2 cards. Going second with the coin. I would probably want to save this coin. If it's Secret Mage, we can burn a counterspell with this coin. The only other real spells we have in this deck are Heroic Strike, I believe. So let's play this deckhand. He'll ping it off, but that's fine. Next turn we can follow up with a Berserker, which will punish him for pinging it, or we'll go with the South Sea Captain that we just got off the top. So it is Secret Mage, so there is an argument on whether or not we want to play this coin, but I think we do want to. So I'm going to get out this South Sea Captain. I'm going to trade with this 2/3 with that 3/2 and go for the face. You might be wondering, like, why are we trading with Pirate Warrior? But Pirate Warrior still wants to control the board because you want to get the recursive damage with the minions in the early game. Follows up with the Kirin Mage and plants down a secret. So Secret Mage changed a bit since I've been gone. So they have Explosive Runes, Counterspell, excuse me, as well as Flame Ward. I think Flame Ward is if I attack the face, it'll do 3 damage to my whole board. So we have to think about how we want to sequence this. It's a little difficult, right? I think that we want to probably trade our 3/3 with our 4/3, and then check for Flame Lord here. Okay, so let's duplicate. So not the worst in the world, but we're going to expect 2 more Kirin Mages down the line. I'm going to play our Frothing Berserker here. I'll punish him if he wants to ping our 1/1, and Frothing is generally good to get out earlier rather than later.
We have many secrets.
So more secret shenanigans here. So the first one is duplicate, so we have to play around stuff like Mirror Entity, Explosive Runes. First things first is I want to check for Flame Ward. It's not Flame Ward. Next we'll check with Sir Finley Murgleton, get our new hero power. Say Shot's pretty good. It is indeed Explosive Runes, so bye-bye Sir Finley. I think he's so incentivized that to trade with our Frothing, I'm going to be greedy, and I'm probably going to go face with this. So the question is, how do we want to spend the rest of our mana? I'm going to just play this Bloodsail Cultist and go face. Our next turn is a little awkward. I mean, we could have tried to save this, but I think it's a little slow in tempo, and playing this ship's cannon into this 4-3 isn't great either. So we got a free 3 damage because he was forced to trade. The frothing was way too scary for him. I think this is the part of the game where we have to start thinking about our lethal opportunities. So we already have 10 damage in our hand. If we hit him to 19 here, so we're like 9 damage off lethal. I don't know if we can afford to deal with this 2-4, to be honest. The only thing is if he gets a Flame Ward, this Leroy Jenkins damage isn't guaranteed, which is kind of scary. It's going to be hard to... I need to start getting this steady shot value. So I'm going to just play the ship's cannon down and I'm going to go face. I'm taking a gamble. The other option was I could have either traded into this Luna to prevent the draws or heroic striked it, but I don't know if we have the time or the luxury to do so. Looks like he possibly has a Flame Ward on the board with the way that he's going face. Got another ship's cannon. Not exactly what I want to see. I'm gonna check first with this ship's cannon. And then I'm gonna play this Dread Corsair to get both of the shots off. We're going to hedge a little bit and get rid of this, and then go face here. And that's fine. We had a inkling that it was Flame Ward, which wasn't the worst. But we needed to get the Flame Ward off the board in order to clear the way for our other shenanigans. So we have 10 damage.
Behold the tools of creation.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. So he has...
the tools of creation.
Okay. So he has 4-6 damage coming in. Let's sort of think about how we want to do this. The most damage we can do is 10, but that increases the damage we take. So if we go with 8 damage now, it's not quite enough. If we punch him down to 5, we would be able to... I think this is probably the best line. You might be wondering why I'm using the Heroic Strike now. I want to play around the fact that he might have a counterspell, so it would negate the strike. I don't think they play Ice Block anymore, or Ice Barrier, so I think getting him to 3 is pretty good for us.
Behold the tools of creation.
So he's drawing through his deck, but I don't think he has any outs.
Behold the tools of creation.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
So we're at 2, but we're just gonna go face here, and that's lethal because they don't run Ice Block anymore or Ice Barrier. So yeah, getting him low to where we could lethal him with a second shot was good. Also played around counterspell, so we're up to 14 now, slowly climbing up the ladder. Happy with that. Alrighty, back for our final one, win or lose. We're against a priest. They have the 1000 win portrait, which is kind of scary. Ancharrr is obviously really good. We want to keep this. Ship's Cannon is pretty good. I think, honestly, I'm just going to keep this hand. It's pretty playable. We have the option to... I'm not sure if I want to weight on the ship's cannon or not. That's the only thing. Let's try coining out ship's cannon. He might have a Shadow Word Pain, but I'm not sure how common it is in Wild anymore. We also don't know what type of priest this is. It might be Big Priest, and if it is Big Priest, we should probably put as much aggression as possible. Turn 3 will probably be Ancharrr, and then hopefully follow up with a South Sea deck. Well, follow up with Bloodsail Cultist if we have a pirate around. We're just gonna squelch this guy, because I don't want to listen to Anduin. Wow, silence. Okay. A little unfortunate, but fine by me. Going to go face. I will play one South Sea deckhand. I don't see a point in playing the second one because we want to do turn 4 cultist plus deckhand just to guarantee that we can upgrade the Ancharrr. And it has charge rate if we have this Ancharrr up. So no real reason to. Okay, let's see, is this Drakari Enchanter? So end of turn effects trigger twice. It's kind of spooky. I'm just gonna get rid of this. I don't want to deal with any shenanigans right now. So we're gonna get hopefully a nice double upgrade with Bloodsail Cultist. That means we'll be able to draw 3 more pirates to fuel our hand. We have a lot of damage. We have 8 charge damage here. This Nizas first mate probably won't be seeing play for quite a while until we expend this Ancharrr. But I'm feeling alright. 26 is not as fast as we want to be going against Priest, but it's fine. If we can get that repetitive, recursive minion damage going, we'll be alright. Okay, so he uses a Resurrect on this, so this is some sort of Resurrect Priest or Big Priest or whatever you want to say. It's not Big Priest per se, but some sort of Resurrect Priest. What end of turn effects are there? There's like the Water Bear guy, but we can get rid of it pretty freely here because we have 3 and 2. Just don't want to deal with shenanigans. We have a lot of fuel. We just got a Sky Raider off our anchor draw. It's another pirate we can draw. Turn 5, this might be Mass Hysteria. I don't think they run Holy Nova anymore, so we don't have to worry about that for our AoE. Convincing Infiltrator. So we can get this up to 5, which isn't quite good enough. But it's alright. So how are we going to spend our mana? 3 here, 1 here, and 1 here? That looks okay.
What now?
Alright, let's just do that. We might be overkitting, but this cycles itself. So we're going to do 5 here. And then we're going to trade here, just because it's going to destroy something. Destroys this, which is good. We have 6 more to the face. So we have basically an Arcanite Reaper here. We've upgraded this 3 times, so this is insane. We're gonna get 2 more draws from this. And then we have Leroy. Oof, that Shadow Word Horror really destroyed our board, but I think we're fine. I'm gonna probably draw first with this. Actually, we'll just get the 5 damage first and see what pirate we draw. Okay, so we got double Parachute Brigand, so drawing that pirate was probably worth it. The only thing you have to think about is if you don't want to play into AoE, it might have been correct to play the pirate first, so we only summon 1 Brigand. But I'm okay with summoning both because we have more fuel coming in. Inner Fire, that's 1 damage here. Flame Cannon might be worth it so we can push through damage. Competitive Spirit. Probably want Flame Cannon. We could have put the Competitive Spirit, but I think it's a little greedy and win more. I already have 11 damage here, so I just need a way to remove a taunt or something like that. So that's why I went with Flame Cannon. I have a pretty big and threatening board here. He has to use some sort of AoE. Psychic Scream is available in Wild. That's an answer. Light Bomb wouldn't quite do the job because this has 4 health. Dragonfire Potion, but I think they'd probably play Light Bomb over Dragonfire Potion. Alright, so we definitely have lethal here in many different shapes and forms. Okay, definitely like super lethal. Yeah, I'm just going to, this is, oh no, I misplayed. Oh well, that's fine. That's alright. We're just BMing, right? We're just BMing. Obviously not the optimal way to get rid of that taunt by any means, but it was just BM, right? Okay, so nice 3rd win in a row. Just taking it easy. Nice welcome back to Hearthstone. So that ends today's session with Pirate Warrior. We had pretty good success. We only played 3 games, but 3 wins is always nice. We played against Quest Hunter, Res Priest, as well as that Secret Mage. So a nice variety of decks on the Wild ladder. Even though Ancharrr was nerfed to 2 durability, it really performed. I mean, there was that game that we upgraded it 3 times and just made it an Arcanite Reaper that drew us a pirate every time we swung. So a lot of fun. I like that Pirate Warrior has evolved since its first incarnation in Mean Streets of Gadgetzan. I love that we have more fuel on the deck through Ancharrr and Sky Raider. I hope you guys enjoyed this live game commentary. Until next time, peace.